All right, we are live right now. I am your host, Joshua Mickle, and to my right, once again, my father, Jack Mickle III.
Yes,
So
in the flesh.
So how's it feel to be live once more, but in our proper studio, mind you?
It's very cold in here, but other than that, it feels great. It feels awesome. I like the music. I was jamming out to it before we went live.
Yep, and as we can see, we are live, and we actually have a video switcher. So
hey,
ISOCAM and ISOCAM for him right there, main camera right there. We are ready to rock and roll, and let me grab that up. There we are. We are officially rolling out with the graphics. And so now, first topic we are going to
hats
get
on backwards. Serious now.
We are going to dive right into it, and that is this right here. One, Brian Callahan. The Titans have found officially their head coach in this new era of Tennessee Titan football. So, Dad, if I may ask you,
yes,
your first initial impressions from his presser, what you think about it, what are your general thoughts on it?
I had a couple thoughts. One, first that stood out most to me was his humbleness. You know, he had a hard time with his emotions. He was, he was in his feels, so to speak, when he was talking about his former team and Zach, who gave him his chance, mentoring him. But also to his wife and family. He just was really, really appreciative and loving and giving them all sorts of compliments. And, you know, that's a rare trait that you see nowadays, especially when you're trying to promote yourself. Secondly, what stood out is he was no Mike Vrabel. Thank the Lord. He was very, Mike Vrabel's very stoic, very non-committal, kind of, whatever. I didn't like any of his interviews, but Brian Callahan seems like moving forward, he's going to be that kind of guy that tells it like it is in a flavor that is easily digestible to the common fan and even to those that is not so common either. So I'm looking forward to hearing more from him and his philosophy and seeing who he's going to hire as assistant coaches and coordinators and all that kind of stuff. So
one of the things that stood out, and I'll bring up the picture again for our viewers to see full screen, is the three of them, all smiles and happiness.
Yes, they are.
I unfortunately don't have the photo preset for us, but last year when Ran Carthon was initially announced as the GM,
yeah,
and then you see the three of them, Amy Adams Strunk, our owner, Ran Carthon, and then Mike Vrabel to the right instead of Brian Callahan, essentially, in this photo. And that Mike Vrabel photo, I mentioned to you, like if someone were to dissect a photo and just say, this is what they're really thinking behind this smile.
Put a meme on it.
Yeah, exactly. So with the Mike Vrabel news that we got from The Athletic and other beat writers saying, like, he didn't want Ran Carthon.
Yeah.
And then you see the smile, like it's like a kind of a forced smile in a way. Like, and Yumi had a good laugh about it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, maybe that could have been it. But in all actuality, with all that, with the Ran Carthon hiring, I will definitely say my 2 cents on, and for a minute, I'm having, I see why. All right. This is the perks of doing it live. All right. Boom. There we are. My ISO shot's right there. One of the things, Dad, that I wanted to talk about with you with this hire is that I think with this presser that Brian Callahan gave, it has opened. I think it opens the door for us to be like come out of our cavemen dwelling selves with running the football 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and Amy Adams Strunk said it in her big press release just before the press conference with Brian Callahan introductory, is that this is not my father's NFL.
Amen.
This is not my father's NFL.
Yes.
This is an ever-changing, evolving league, and we have to get with the times. And that can only benefit one Will Levis going forward, because with Will Levis and Brian Callahan, I think it can work wonders with what a offensive-minded first head coach, not named Ken Wisnut, not named Mike Mularkey, who is a dinosaur of an offensive-minded head coach, even though he was technically an offensive-minded guy. Mm-hmm. But look at Jacksonville, look at Buffalo in his stints there.
Yeah.
So for what he did, it worked out well for us. We moved on from him. We picked up Vrabel. It worked out well for us for what we need to do. Yes. But we moved on from Vrabel ultimately. Mm-hmm. But just to dive deeper with the Will Levis discussion with this whole thing here, what does this mean for Will Levis and potentially in our offense opening up?
Well, I think that, even during the season, you saw Will Levis and Mike Vrabel's interaction on the sidelines, and it was very cold. It was very non-committal. You didn't see a lot of excitement on the behalf of Vrabel. He was very much a veteran-only kind of guy. Mm-hmm. If you're a rook, I don't really have time for you until you prove yourself, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
I understand the mentality, but at a quarterback position, you need to give a little pat on the rear end every now and again and say, yeah, you're doing well right now, rook. You got a lot to learn, but you're doing well right now. I don't think he gave him that much encouragement because, again, he's a veteran kind of guy. Secondly, in his interviews, he would never give Will Levis a lot of credit, if any. Because he's not a quarterback whisperer, he's not the kind of guy that's going to hold your hand and lead you along the primrose path. And offense is not his forte, obviously.
His famous words before the Atlanta game. When he was asked, how does one approach developing quarterbacks? Is like, I don't know how to develop quarterbacks. Yeah. That's not my job. I'm like, It is your job. You're the head coach to know that sort of stuff.
That's right. And I think Brian Callahan knows exactly what to do with Will Levis. Thank God we don't have to go quarterback hunting in the draft, at least not in the first,
at least not
couple days.
Not this year, next year, probably.
Yeah. I think that with the coordinators and the quarterbacks coach he's going to bring in, with the position coaches he's going to bring in, it's going to mean Will Levis is going to be able to grow. And I've heard some very interesting names bantered about for offensive coordinator, even quarterbacks coach, so that it makes me excited in the sense that, oh, wow, our quarterback is actually going to get somebody who has cut their teeth in the NFL or is considered an up-and-comer innovator on the offensive side. And Will Levis with his he's a fighter, he's a gamer, and his physical traits as a quarterback, I think, really mesh well with someone who's going to come in and teach and mentor and show him exactly what success looks like on the field. I think it's just going to grow by leaps and bounds next year. I'm hoping in the 24 season.
So, one of the things that I will bring up here is, amidst this fallout that we have to talk about the elephant in the room, and one Mike Vrabel, and to an extent Bill Belichick throughout this head coaching cycle. Yep. And for us as a Titans consumer, a fan wanting such information and whatnot, Mike Vrabel and the praise he's gotten from the media, it's one can just be head scratching, like for some fans and be like, why? But
I don't know.
But for most people, it's just a sense of, okay, for those that said he's gonna get hired 8 minutes, he's not gonna last on the market long. Mm-hmm. The market and NFL owners have said with their hirings so far, we don't know what Seattle's going to do. We don't know what Washington's going to do.
I think we know what Washington's going to do, but Seattle's the wild card.
Officially, as of this live stream, we don't know what they're going to do.
No,
but those two still remain open. But assuming that they go the way of not Bill Belichick and Mike Vrabel, this speaks leaps and bounds of what the owners and managers actually know and feel about coaches like Mike Vrabel, or about Mike Vrabel personally. And maybe Amy Adams and Rand Carthon's probably reached out to all these other owners and GMs like, hey, be aware, this is the guy that you're going to get. Just a heads up on that. Or maybe they already know within their internal channels.
Yeah.
But what does it say to you that he hasn't been hired yet?
It says that the owners don't want him. They know that he's a power grabber. He is not an offensive-minded person. He has not proven himself to be a person who can hire smartly and effectively on his coordinators and his position coaches. Basically, he's been bringing in his buddies who have arguably, you could argue the offensive line coach, Jason Hofteling, who they call, I think, Moose, or Haas, one of the two.
Yeah, O-line coach.
His resume irks of junior college material. He should never been in the NFL, but he was buds with Vrabel. So, yeah, let's give him an NFL job. So this also for all the people who said, well, you should have traded for picks for Vrabel. You know, he's valuable. Well, if nobody wanted him, you have to have a trade partner. We would still be out there waiting for a trade partner and him being our head coach. And we would be behind the 8 ball. Somebody else would have gotten Brian Callahan, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it tells me that all the love affair speaks people who have not followed the Titans. They know the name Mike Vrabel. They know he went to the AFC Championship.
They know he won Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year in 21. Woohoo! I mean, really, that's all you're gonna hang your hat on. To me, he's behind everything. Everything's coming out, and that Wesley Woodyard interview spoke volumes. If you put that together along with all the little bits and pieces of other interviews and things you've heard come out in the rumor mill, that he was just an archaic, antiquated, behind the times coach who thought he knew better, wanted more power. What owner wants that? Especially, it's like Washington. They're going to pick up a quarterback, right? This draft, first round. Why do you want this guy to come in? And he obviously has admitted, I don't know how to groom a quarterback. So they're not going to hire him. They got Geno Smith in Seattle. They want to keep him growing, or at least, at a plateau. If you hire him, he's going to go down. Why? Because he's not an offense guy. He's not going to hire a good offensive guy. So, yeah, the word is out. Yeah, Tim Kelly, go ahead. More power to you. So the word is out on Vrabel. He is a good coach. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but he has to have everything in place, including a veteran quarterback, an offensive line, a running game, and a decent defense, whom he could coach up a little bit. But everything else has to be in place. Then, as a leader of men, he could go out there and possibly get them into the playoffs and a little bit beyond. Could he get them to the Super Bowl? I highly doubt it. But, you never know. So he needs an established thing. He can't build anything from the ground up. And if you need to massage your offense, he's not your guy.
He's definitely not it. But for what Vrabel can be for a coach, like if you drop him, like say Andy Reid retires after they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You drop him with the Chiefs, Matt Nagy's still the coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo still the defensive coordinator. You still got your quarterback, you got the receivers.
Yeah.
He can be great. He can be darn near great probably, but
well, dang, Josh, you and I could coach that team and be successful.
But the point of that being is that if you drop him in a perfect situation, like the Chargers, for example, you don't change a thing. You don't change a thing with the coaches. You just add him. Then he can have a successful career, just like he did when he was just dropped in the middle of our Mike Mularkey, already helmed playoff team. He had a good run with him. Had maybe swapped a few pieces with players. Swapped a few had that one run with Arthur Smith, swapped him out. But outside of that, it's like when it comes to him and his coordinators and then his roster building, and yes, he did have a hand in the roster building, especially in 23.
Without a doubt.
Because I will still believe the notion that that's out there that Rand Carthon gave Vrabel enough rope to hang himself with especially with the Andre Dillards out there, and a whole bunch of others. Aaron Brewer, like the Andre Dillards and the Aaron Brewers, like just those two alone, is enough to show, hey, these are Vrabel hires. Do you really think Rand Carthon from the San Francisco tree of John Lynch, from the Sean McVay organization of the Rams, would they really have Aaron Brewer starting center? Would they really have Andre Dillard at left tackle?
Not a starter.
Not a starter. No, maybe as a backup, but
rotational swing, something like that, but not a starter.
Yeah, definitely not that. But I think it speaks volumes, especially towards the whole media narrative that Like, hey, this guy's a good coach, like, and he should be hired. Well, why isn't he hired?
Yeah.
Why isn't he hired?
Yeah.
And so we are going to dive into one entertainment content,
Woo!
And then we are going to talk about our championship weekend and Super Bowl preview.
Yeah.
And so recently, Netflix just dropped their full official Avatar, The Last Airbender trailer, live action TV series on Netflix, coming to us on February next month. What were your impressions on said trailer?
About time. I loved Avatar. I mean, you when we were in San Diego, we watched all the series. What was it, 3-4 seasons?
3 seasons, yes.
And along with Nicole and Noah, and Mom even liked it too. She liked the series, and I thought the movie. To me, I liked the movie that came out. I really did. It may have been cheesy and whatever. I wish they would have put some more stuff to go along with the series. In the movie.
Hey, Heath is finally in the comments section. Finally, what's up, Heath? Future brother-in-law.
It's Keith, not Heath.
Keith.
That's
yes.
Hammer Health, not Hammer Heath.
Yes. Sorry about that. Anyways,
Anyway, so I'm glad that they're doing another one, and I'm glad it's a series because in a movie, I think you feel too rushed, too compact. To put a lot of storyline stuff in there, whereas in a series, obviously, you're looking at 8? I think it's 8 episodes. I think it's 8 episodes for season.
For the actual series cartoon.
No, the one that's coming out. Is it a movie or is it?
It's a series.
Yeah, that's what I just said. How many episodes?
Well, if you want to take what the producers have said about, hey, we're making this longer episodes. It's gonna be like a faithful adaptation of the TV series.
Yeah.
And the TV series, I want to say, had like at least 20 episodes. I want to say.
Yeah.
At least 20. So maybe chop that. Maybe Daredevil style. You have like 13, 45 minutes, an hour-long episodes right there for you. Maybe it'll be like that because for the series, I think it was about 30 minutes an episode. So
yeah, I agree. But I'm excited about it. It's something that I want. I mean, there's several movies I would wish they had a part 2 or a series 2, like what is it, Alita Battle Angel? That I wish they would have had a part 2 to that.
You may get your wish.
I mean, there's other ones, but the Avatar was definitely one of them, and so I'm glad. I'm looking forward to it. I just hope they do it justice. I think they will. It just seems like from the trailer, I liked everything that I saw on there.
One of the favorite things that stood out to me in the trailer was the many, like it was quick shots, like blinking you'll miss them. Like you'll see Aang's longtime best friend, now he's over 100 years old, King Boomy, like silhouette of a muscular old man in the background.
Yeah.
You'll see that hunting lizard, like Jekyll, like whatever creature it is that can sniff things.
Mm-hmm.
Appa. There was nothing wrong with Appa with the live action movie. Like I didn't think there was anything wrong with him. This version where he's like, you can see the silhouette of the arrow.
Yeah.
But you can tell there's like more detail going into said design of
the little weavings of markings inside the arrow.
Yeah, and unlike the live action one, you do get a blue arrow, a blue tattoo arrow. I didn't mind what M. Night Shyamalan did with the Avatar Aang arrows, where it's like it's like multiple tattoos, like symbols combined, but it formed an arrow. I didn't mind that at all. Just, I think Yumi can agree, the movie did not do the series justice.
I think we should get a tattoo like that, though.
Maybe you should.
On my head?
Yeah, on your head.
Right.
Shave your head and then let your hair grow back.
Yeah, no.
Because
Mom wouldn't like that.
My wife wouldn't like that either if I did that.
What if my hair didn't grow back in the tattoo area? It'd just be hair and then the arrow is bald.
I mean, it's one of those. I mean, if anything, what this series is going to do, it's going to definitely. What I hope it does. I think what I hope it does. It opens the door to multiple series being looked at for possible more live action adaptations. Like, you will laugh You will laugh when I say this. I've been waiting for years, if not decades, for them to do a live action Lilo and Stitch. I've been waiting for almost a decade for them to do.
Nicole would like that.
A live action
I think
movie or series.
Hammer Health out there would like it too. I'm not sure,
Yes.
but I'm not a big Lilo and Stitch guy, to tell you the truth.
But it's one of those things where, and no, Dragon Ball universe live action would not be amazing, Keith. So that's just my opinion, and you have your opinion. No,
Dragon Ball's
Ball
a bunch of yelling. When I saw that movie with you guys, that's all they did was yell the entire movie. I'm like,
I can never
really?
My brother Noah will just watch it, and then I'll just walk in there. Like if I walked into the living room and you and Noah were watching Harry Potter, I'd be like, okay, this is this character. Here's what the story's going on. With Dragon Ball Z, it's like,
yeah.
It's like, what's going on here? It's nothing but noise.
Yes.
It's nothing but noise.
Mom says no head tattoo. What? Okay. I'll get a face tattoo like Post Malone.
No, you get the Joker tattoo where it says damaged on top of your forehead.
Yeah, there you go.
But what I think what Avatar: The Last Airbender might do, and this was actually done in collaboration with Nickelodeon before Paramount Plus was even a thing. So what I think this will hopefully open up is other studios, like say an Amazon or Max or
Apple TV.
or Netflix again. Like they search around these different cartoon IPs out there. Like let's say another Nickelodeon, for example, Danny Phantom. Just to use that.
Jimmy
example.
Neutron.
No,
come on, it's my biography.
No, this is my show.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse
It's my show right now. So
you came from my loins, so you wouldn't have a show went for me. So
Danny Phantom, for example, say Amazon came to Paramount and said, "Hey, here's
Ben 10.
Here's Ben 10 would be awesome.
Perfect.
Would be awesome for
See, it's your show, and I came up with that idea.
Yes.
You're welcome.
No, I did a editorial on 5 animations that deserve live action treatments. That was one of them.
So yes,
Kim Possible, another one.
Kim Possible, yes. So they're charging us. When I say they, Netflix, Amazon, I'm sure Hulu and Apple and everybody else is soon to follow. They're charging $2 extra for you not to see commercials, and their reasoning is, well, we need the extra money to give you quality content. So if that's the case, and you can bring to life some of the things that we're talking about here, increase the catalog of movies and shows, then I don't think the consumer would have a problem with it. What we don't want is all these increased prices, and then all of a sudden, this content is the same. So yeah, go out there and be at the next Universal or the next Paramount there, Netflix and Amazon. And, I like some of their content they got coming out. I like Apple TV, there's a couple movies on there I would love to see if I had Apple TV. So, yeah, charge me more if it's worth it, but don't just charge me more and become another cable company and then everybody starts switching to something else. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the route they're starting to go down, unfortunately.
I know.
So, expectations for the show. Final thoughts on it, though.
I don't know.
For Avatar, do you think it's going to be good?
Yes,
great?
I do think it's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be great. I think it's going to be good, but you never know. There's things out there like Netflix has, from what I heard, what's called Blue-Eyed Ninja, Blue-Eyed Assassin, Blue-Eyed. It's brand new on Netflix. It's an animated series.
Netflix gave you your favorite ninja show.
Which one is that?
Cobra Kai.
Oh, I love Cobra Kai. Everybody who's somebody loves Cobra Kai. Come on. But anyway, you never know what they're going to put out. Some things are just behind the, not on your radar, but when you see them and hear people talk about them, and then you go watch it because of the reviews, you're like, oh wow, that's pretty good. So it leaves you hungry for more. So yeah, I think it's going to be good. I hope it's going to be great, and leave us thirsty for more or hungry for more.
I think with Netflix's track record, movie-wise, at best, in terms their original movies, you can't stand the Netflix Christmas movies.
I don't like Christmas movies.
You can't
I like the classics, but I don't like.
Is there a Netflix
Christmas in Christmas Town by Hallmark? I hate those movies. They're so dumb.
Is there just an example? Is there? Can you name me a good amount of Netflix original movies that you can say were bang on awesome?
I mean, no. I mean, it's not that I just don't know what's a Netflix movie. When I see a movie, I just watch it. I don't pay attention where it says, Netflix, that they produced it and created it.
I mean, it's on Netflix. So
no, but they have movies that they didn't create. I thought, is that your question? That
no,
movies they make?
Netflix original movies.
That's what I'm saying. Movies that Netflix makes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't pay attention to if that's a Netflix movie or that's just a movie that is on Netflix. You see what I'm saying? So I couldn't necessarily name that movie.
I can tell you just off of my knowledge of Netflix, their movies are hit and miss. Mostly, some of them are really bad. Some of them you loathe and hate, like the Christmas movies. But when it comes to their TV shows, they are on par with, say, HBO, like with what they do with Game of Thrones and whatnot in terms of quality. And one of the shows, and they actually, if I'm not mistaken, they actually have no, that's for something else. But one of the shows that really got me hooked for, like, saying, okay, Netflix does an amazing job with TV quality.
Squid Game
is the Haunting TV series, the two series that they do. There's Haunting on Hill House, and then there's the first Haunting show. It has the same cast, but it's different characters. So try movies. So try to explain that. It's essentially like it's essentially like a horror series.
Yeah.
And oh my god, for one of the episodes, like it just gets you hooked. Like we don't watch horror out of, oh, we're horror guys. Like, we'll watch it. We'll watch Chainsaw Massacre. We'll watch all those sorts of stuff. No, that's not us.
Right.
That's not us at all. Like, we'll watch it because we hear it's a really good movie. The new one. Yeah. But for The Haunting, for the first season, I think it was episode 4 or 5. There's this between episodes 1 up into a particular point halfway through the season. There's this figurehead called Bitneck Lady, where you see her on a noose and her neck's bent, haunting this particular character. And then you find out at the end of a particular episode that Bitneck Lady is a particular character that we've been following. And then you're wondering, how in the world is this time traveling thing?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then the last shot of the episode shows her before her skin disintegrates and becomes that Bitneck Lady grayish figure.
I remember that.
She sees her as a child when she was first haunted by the Bitneck Lady figure. I'm like,
don't give it away.
I'm like,
somebody wants to watch it.
Oh my god,
mind blown.
It's just one of those things where it's like Netflix does a fantastic job with their TV series. If they can do it for their movies, then they'd be a powerhouse studio.
Yeah,
but
could be.
But unfortunately, that's not the case. But that's just one. That's just one of many TV examples for Netflix. Oh, Last Kingdom, the Last Kingdom. That's a Netflix series. Awesome TV show. I
agree.
And
I like The Last Kingdom.
Yeah,
not for the faint of heart though. There's a lot of blood and people dying in that. But I like shows like that, Braveheart. I'm a sucker for those types of movies. I don't know why. But anyway, Blue-Eyed Samurai. That's what Keith says. Hammer Health. That's that show. Jeremy John just came out with a review of it. I think it was today or yesterday or over the weekend. But he said it's really good. I haven't seen it.
All right. And now to the sports chatter, and we are going to start off with what was first on Saturday, and that was the Chiefs being hosted
Sunday
by the Ravens, or more so,
Sunday.
The Ravens got hosed by the Chiefs. This Sunday, Chiefs beat the number 1 seeded Ravens in Baltimore.
Yep.
So we have to endure 2 more weeks of Taylor Swift. We have to endure Patrick Mahomes isms once more. So I will go ahead and just get this right out of the gate with my initial thoughts on
just
the game.
Just gotta shake it off, baby.
Is
Oops, they did it again. No, that's Britney Spears. Never mind.
Again, my Tony Romo comparison is stuck in your head. Exactly. This is Tony Romo and Britney Spears in today's social media realm. Exactly. So
Keith says Taylor Swift for every first down during the Super Bowl.
No.
Oh gosh.
No. For if those that haven't played the game yet, play the drinking game with Taylor Swift. Every time they do a camera shot of her, take a shot and see how long before you're hammered or passed out. But initial thoughts in the game.
Which one?
The Ravens one. Ravens blew it. They flat out blew it.
Yeah.
They flat out blew it. If you say to me as a Ravens fan, the Chiefs are only going to score 17 points.
Yep.
You are saying, where do I sign?
Mm-hmm.
Where do I sign that contract right now so we can get that W? Because we are definitely going to score more than 17 points.
Yep.
With Lamar, Zay Flowers, the backs that we have in our backfield, OBJ. No.
But what was the Ravens' strength leading up to this game?
Running the football, and it showed when they beat the Texans the week before. And what did they do yesterday? They did not.
Nothing.
They went away from it.
Did passing. Of course, John Harbaugh said that that's the way the game proceeded. It dictated that we pass on a heavier load than running. So I think they only ran 15 times or 20 at most.
Their running backs got single-digit carries.
Yeah, well, something like that. It doesn't matter. What they didn't do was
less
run.
than 10 carries.
So and Lamar wasn't Lamar. He was an MVP, but he didn't have an MVP game. And MVP, big game players come up big in big games, and he unfortunately did not. I hate both teams, so I don't feel sorry for anybody. If it's like the Titans, then misery loves company. So more power to you, Baltimore. It sucks not going to the Super Bowl. So shout out to Noah. He's on watching. Hi, Noah. So I think that the Chiefs, being the Chiefs, they took advantage. They took what was given to them and they ran with it quite literally. And that Scantling pass or catch, I should say, was in the fourth quarter was awesome and it was timely. Whereas in another game, there was another receiver who dropped the ball on fourth down and probably ruined their season. Well, it did ruin their season. So big players come up big time in big games. And you see that time and time again with the Kansas City Chiefs. I can't stand the Chiefs. Can't stand them. I hate them. Brad Burns is the same way. Hate them. It's a strong word. I can't stand them. How about that?
Yeah. I would say the Chiefs are this generation's Patriots and Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, unfortunately.
But I'm telling you, if you pop them, just one good time, like a Kelsey, we took him out of the game in
the wild card game.
Hey,
Jonathan Cyprien.
You pop him one good time, they won't come over the middle anymore. You got to do it legally. And don't take their knees
with the
out.
Shoulder.
I'm just saying a legal tackle, but a hard, just bam. And I know it's hard to do with somebody, and then it's easier to say and harder to do. But
I think Cyprien got
I think they're pretenders when it comes to toughness. I'm sorry, I really do. What Mike Tyson says: everybody talks a big game until you punch them in the mouth. I think that people are not scared, but they're apprehensive when it comes up to them because they're reactionary. What are they going to do? Patrick Mahomes in the backfield, I got to take a peek, so I'm not playing aggressive, so therefore I can't lay an aggressive hit. So I think with him, you got to play loose, you got to play fast, and you got to play aggressive, and that means getting to the quarterback and handing him his lunch. And then telling Travis Kelce, go sit down on the bench because guess what? You have a glass jaw. And let Taylor Swift cry. I think that I think the 49ers can do that.
I think, if you want to know my opinion.
No, I don't want but it's your show.
Whose fault is it that we have the Patrick Mahomes era and that's unleashed and plagued the NFL since 2018.
Mom and Pop Mahomes. That's whose fault it is. They had that child.
No. Whose fault is it? I'll answer again.
Tell me, Josh.
It is the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
Because had we not won that playoff game in 2017, the Mariota pass to himself that he caught for a touchdown, and Lamar Jackson almost topped that with a catch and run for a touchdown, which would have been better. Because it's a run after the catch. But it is the Titans' fault. We have unleashed this Pandora's box. We have opened this Pandora's box because if we do not win that game, Alex Smith is not traded to the Washington Redskins. Patrick Mahomes is not starting in that season that they lost in the playoffs. And he might be maybe he sits another year. That's 3 years that Patrick Mahomes is just sitting on the sidelines doing nothing that we know nothing about. That box is contained, and Alex Smith is still the guy until his contract lapses or they trade away Alex Smith eventually. But they don't do it if they win against the Titans in the playoffs, in my opinion. And I think that is one of the biggest cardinal sins that is going to be plaguing us to the end of time as an organization and as an NFL league, because we have unleashed this man upon the league, and now folks can't stand him when he wins, and now folks are saying anyone but him, to where I made a passionate post on the Titans, on my Titans group that I'm a part of, which got many likes and hearts, by the way. No ha-has, no hates, and everyone agrees is that from the shadows and in the streets of Nashville will rise a contender with Brian Callahan and Will Levis, that they will be the ones to put this behemoth of a monster back in its box where it belongs and offer the national football world an alternative and say, hey, we want to root for him. You've had so many chances. Let him have a chance at it now.
But the goal is for people to be sick and tired of the Titans winning all the time. So either way.
We're not there yet. We are a long way away from that. Yeah. We are a long ways away from that. But in terms of what's going on with, I mean, again, I agree to your point. Lamar Jackson so missed the mark on this game. He wanted to show, it seemed like this is the kind of game versus the Titans in the divisional round where what got you there to the number one seed? What got you there as an MVP? No. Running the football. And what do you do versus the Titans in the divisional round in 2019? Mm-hmm. You try to say, hey, I'm going to prove my critics wrong, and I'm going to try to beat them by throwing it.
Yeah.
Yep. And now, and you look at the final stats, like it was stat padding at the end of it, but initially throughout the whole game, he was lackluster. He was turning the ball over.
Yes.
You had horrible coaching decisions that they were going for on fourth down.
Yes.
Early on in the game, mm-hmm. which led to Titans touchdowns. But in the grand scheme of things, is that it's one of those things where I don't like. Again, it's still baffling why they went away from their strength of running the football when their main strength, I mean, it is running the football. Why did they go away from it? And it makes me go, whew, thank God we didn't interview the Ravens offensive coordinator. Like, what was he thinking with his play calling?
Monken, yeah, I don't know. I can't answer. Like I said, John Harbaugh said that's the way the game was dictated, and that's why they passed. So I don't know. I can't answer for them. I'm glad they lost. I just wish the Chiefs would have lost as well. I wish the AFC would not have a single representative and just give the trophy to the 49ers. But Keith says, Hammer Health says that they're just tired of seeing the same old Brady. That's why everybody hates the Patriots, because of Brady and Belichick, right? Now we're moving on to Mahomes and the Chiefs. It's like when I was when you were born, before you were born, in the late 80s, early 90s. It was always, even before you played a single game, who's going to play the 49ers or the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl? Or who's going to play them in the Super Bowl? They were the team to beat, and I couldn't stand them. Same thing with the Bills for those 4 years too. But thing is, I guess it's all cyclical. It'll come and go. I got it. You just hopefully that during Will Levis's time and Brian Callahan's time here that we can at least go to and win I just want one Super Bowl. I want one. Just give me one. Just give me one. You know, I don't know what that feels like.
Hey, we were 1 yard short, man.
To tying, not winning, but yeah, I get what you're saying. But that was, we caught lightning in the
Zay
bottle that
Flowers
year.
was 1 yard short when he stretched it and fumbled it.
Yeah, I know.
Which he had a hand in losing the game for the Ravens, which you make a great catch. Why are you staying over the guy and taunting him? Like, that's unnecessary.
That's just youth. He's a rookie. You know, that's just who he is. I mean, that's who he is now. He'll learn. A lot of players learn. Hopefully they learn. There's some who don't.
Antonio Brown.
But
Juju.
Yeah, I don't know. Who was it? Odell was giving him words after the game saying, "Hey, you're a special player, and you know this is not the end.
Talking
so
to
keep your head up."
Mm-hmm.
No, he was talking to Zay Flowers.
He was talking to both of them. I mean, but yeah.
I'm just saying what he said to Zay. I don't know what he said to Lamar. So anyway, I don't care about Chiefs or the Ratbirds. And why haven't the Chiefs changed their name? It's so racist, isn't it? If they're going to make the Redskins change their name and get rid of the Tomahawk Chop chant, same thing for the Chiefs. How come they don't have to change their name?
Well, the Redskins should have just done what the Chiefs did and just replaced the mascot.
With a wolf?
No, with the politician.
Yeah,
for the Redskins.
That H&R Block character that goes... You seen that guy on the
Yes.
commercials? I love that guy. That should be our mascot. I want him.
We'd still have the Redskins if they just changed the mascot. Like, just changed, like, the on-field mascot.
Yeah. I don't know. So, what's next?
Why do we have a raccoon as a mascot?
Because that's the state...
I know it's the state. I know it's a state animal, but those are going to be... But outsiders not going to know that. They're going to be like, why don't you have someone dressed in like
a buff dude?
Like a buff dude,
like
300 style.
Yeah. Like me. I got it.
It's like, oh no, you'll offend the Romans. You'll offend
the Romans.
You'll offend the Roman people. All right, and we will talk about the next game on the docket.
Kansas football team. I just got it. I read Keith's text. It said I was like, what do you mean the Kansas football? And then the Washington football team. Yeah, I would think it would be the Missouri football team though.
49ers versus the Lions.
Yes.
My wife, Megan, the Lions fan, had a stake in this game for the Lions to win. And boy, did they show it early. They showed it early.
Yeah, they did.
And there was a moment there might go up 28-7. I'm like, what's going on with the 49ers, dude?
I know. I made that statement. I said, it's going to be the Chiefs and the Lions in the Super Bowl.
I mean, poetic if that would have been the case. Like, you start the season with that matchup and you end the season with that matchup.
Yeah.
You open and you close the 2023 season on that chapter.
Yeah.
So, but, oh my God, the line, 7 points in the second half, 2 failed fourth down conversions, which could have been 6 points kicking for you. And the difference was 3 points in losing 34-31. So... Yeah. Oh boy! Just your initial thoughts on the game with the 49ers and Lions. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that, excuse me, I'm a big fan of you dance with who brought you, right? So, however you found success should be what you continue to do during games because you got to be you, right? And if what you do as Dan Campbell is to be aggressive, go for it on fourth downs occasionally, you want to step on the throat and keep it there and not let up. I get going for fourth down. I mean, they actually had a chance. Josh Reynolds dropped that ball both times.
2 times.
Right, on fourth down. Had he caught one of them, maybe we don't have this conversation because I think on one of them, like especially in the third quarter or is it second quarter? Anyway, one of the ones the first one he went down, went for it on 4th and 2. I think they would have scored a touchdown.
In the third quarter, yeah.
So we wouldn't even be having this. We'd be talking about the Lions going to their first Super Bowl. So Josh Reynolds, thank you for leaving Tennessee Titans. We demand elite play from players. That's why you're not with us anymore.
We demand elite blocking.
We do. The standard is the standard, Josh. The standard is the standard.
That's the Steelers.
For the Tennessee Titans.
The
I just want you to know that. But yeah, Keith said what the Lions did what they did best in the prior games. They dominated, then stopped I can't read all of it because there's a heart in my way. Then stop what they did all game as soon as the second half starts. Exactly right. I don't know why. It seemed like it was a tale of two teams. First half team was the team we saw all year, most of the year, and then the second half was, I don't know, last year's team. I don't know, but I think that again we wouldn't be having this conversation if Josh Reynolds would have caught one of those fourth down passes. I really do.
We have it behind us. How crazy was that helmet tip drill?
Yeah.
For Brandon Ayuk to still catch that ball, though,
That's,
that was the
destiny.
That was the game. That was the play that broke the game open, in my opinion.
That was destiny.
It reminded me of the Georgia Auburn tip drill, where it bounces off two Georgia defenders, and the Auburn player says, "Oh, thank you very much. I'll run for a touchdown." And this was the week before the 109-yard return versus Alabama, too. Mm-hmm. So that same season.
That's what happens in football. Sometimes they say it's better to be lucky than good, and that was lucky. Now, some say luck is the residue of preparedness. So, in order to be lucky, you got to be, you have to be there. When the opportunity strikes, and he was there. And Ayuk's just a freak of an athlete anyway. So for him to have that concentration and still catch that ball. And have the wherewithal to go into the end zone even though he was touched. It was great playing. Again, and then Purdy comes alive, and big players make big plays in big games, and that's exactly what he did. So all this talk about Purdy being a no load and flash in the pan, that conversation needs to go away.
Why? Like, where did that come from? Like, why? Like. That dude is going into the game. He's 20-5 as a starter. Like, what more do you want him to do?
Who came up with the metric on him in college, saying this is the guy we need to draft? Who came up with that? Because that dude or gal, she or he is getting a promotion, if not already.
Brand Carthon.
Well, he already got a promotion. So I don't know. It's a crapshoot. You can never really tell, but. To be the last pick in the draft and go on to do what he's done this soon in his career is very, very, very remarkable.
It's Tom Brady-esque, one can argue.
Yep.
We haven't seen anything like this since Tom Brady.
Well, Patrick Mahomes.
He's a first-round pick, though. I'm talking...
Oh, you're talking about late pick? Yeah.
Like late
I got you.
Draft pick.
Yeah.
Like, no one expected anything out of him, and then he just... He's winning you games. He's winning you games. And, oh, look, there's a Super Bowl. And it starts with one. Mm-hmm. And this may be reminiscent to when Tom Brady was going up against the juggernaut that was the St. Louis Rams and Kurt Warner and company. And then what happens? It just takes one game to to flick that dynasty, that juggernaut, off the cliff and then say, hello to this new dynasty or batch of Super Bowls being won by this guy.
But you have to. It's not just the players though. Even though the players win and lose games, you got to give a lot of credit to the coaches, whether it be head coach, positional coaches, coordinators, whatever. Those coaches of those teams know how to do prepare. Right? Motivate their players. And as the game goes along, they adapt. Signal calls, what you're doing, tempo, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Cover 4, cover 0, cover 2. We're blitzing. Or what are we doing? Are we doing a hybrid? They adapt to what is going on during the game. Those coaches are successful, and those coaches go to the Super Bowl. Those coaches win the Super Bowl. And unfortunately, we haven't had that coach ever. At least not as a head coach, and maybe as a coordinator one time, but it didn't work for us yet. So Andy Reid and the staff that he's put together over the last, I don't know, since he was an Eagles coach, I mean, dude's a Hall of Famer, obviously. So look at him and copy what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Make it yours, but I mean, he's got to be doing something right that other people can follow and mimic.
That's why they try to poach. Different staff members. That's why it was famous to get Romeo Cornell. It's famous to get Charlie, what's his name?
Weiss.
Why famous to get Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel.
The Vrabel coaching tree, though.
Even though Vrabel was
Dynamo.
Even though Vrabel wasn't a coach, but he still came from that cloth of Belichick. So, it's one of those things where, and even from the Andy Reid tree, it hasn't turned out all too well from his tree with the Kansas City Chiefs, because the Bears took a turn at Matt Nagy. He won Coach of the Year, and then it's like
he's a leader of men.
He's not that good. You're out.
Some people are good coordinators and horrible coaches or head coaches, and vice versa. Some are just mediocre coordinators. They're going to be a very successful head coach. So, but it's a swing and a miss on a lot of the Belichick tree.
Yeah. And so one more thing we'll get your thoughts on.
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey. Has that trade not worked out well for the 49ers or not? Trading him for a boatload of picks.
Yeah.
And it's opened up their offense.
Oh, yeah. It's like if you know there's a quarterback who is going to be your franchise quarterback and take you to the promised land, then you give up anything and everything to get that quarterback. So not that Christian McCaffrey was that guy, but he is that guy in terms of, like you said, opening up the offense. He's very versatile. He's a hard runner. I thought he was going to get injured like he always did in Carolina. So I wasn't as impressed initially. I thought good player, but he won't be able to stay on the field.
I'm getting the hiccups now.
As my partner fights for his life here with the hiccups.
Oh, my God.
Do you need me to take over? No. What are we talking about next?
Oh, my God.
This is live, by the way.
Yes, this is live. I know. Oh, my God, no. Oh, my God. Darn it. Jesus.
Okay, what's the next subject?
All right, next subject, and we will. I'm going to keep it on McCaffrey here. The next subject is going to be talking about the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl preview. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Super Bowl preview. 49ers against the Chiefs. Who do you got, Josh?
You talk right
now.
While
let's see. I'm going to pick the 49ers only because I hate the Chiefs. But I think that Kyle Shanahan has got a good game plan for the Chiefs. I think that they match up well with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs, based in these playoffs and especially this year, have been fortunate not to get the best of a lot of teams, even though they were considered not down and out, but really down around the middle of the season. But they had a lot of fortitude to come back and persevere. So, kudos to them. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. But I do. I think the 49ers are going to lay the wood on some of their players so that they're not going to be as confident in playing the way their style. I think Andy Reid's going to have them ready for it, though. They're going to be intense like they always are. But I think, I don't know, there's something special about this iteration of the 49ers. But I think they pull it out. The spread, I think, is 1.5, unless it's gone up or down in the last 12 hours. But I would definitely say that they cover that and win by, 10 points.
I got it down just a little bit. Man.
He's fighting, folks.
Oh, yes, I am. And
give him the YouTube Purple Heart.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's a rematch. It's a rematch of the Super Bowl. God. Hey, this is the joys of doing it live. Oh my God. It's the joys of doing this thing live.
Not professional, folks. This is not professional.
Of doing this live. Oh my God.
Don't drink so fast next time.
I wasn't.
God.
I wasn't.
Oh, should we take some calls?
Oh, God. No.
We're not taking any calls?
We're not that advanced yet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Rematch of the Super Bowl 4 years ago that kicked off the Patrick Mahomes era that we know that is today.
Yeah.
And I think we are one Jimmy Garoppolo bad throw away from Mahomes having one less Super Bowl.
Maybe, yep.
And I think Brock Purdy will be able to make that throw much better.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be slow with my words here.
I know how to get rid of hiccups, by the way.
I'm dealing with chemo, and I am having the hiccups right now live. So I'm trying to be a fighter right now.
You're fighting. Kudos to you, brother.
Yes, kudos indeed.
Keith says he can't bet against Patrick Mahomes in the big game, and I agree. It's hard. I agree. I just don't want him to win.
Tell that to what happened to Mahomes versus the Bucks in the Super Bowl? Yeah, I'll leave it at that. So he got blown out. Yeah, that's right. He got blown out by Tom Brady and the Bucks. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna have it on you for a minute. Oh my God, Brock Purdy is gonna do better than I think he's gonna ultimately. He's gonna have his Tom Brady drive, and he's gonna lead the team to a game-winning field goal at the end of the game. Who is the 49ers kicker before I
Jake Moody, the rookie out of Michigan.
The rookie.
Hail to the that's Redskins. What's the Michigan fight song? I can't remember.
The Michigan rookie kicker is going to deliver the 49ers their 6th Super Bowl, I believe, in the final waning seconds after Brock Purdy drives him down the field after which the 49ers defense stops Patrick Mahomes to get the ball back.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy will lead him down. And then, yes, it will be the rookie doing a game-winning kick. And I think the score is going to be 27-24. What is your final score prediction?
I say it's going to be 31-24.
31?
Actually, I said 10 points, right? So 31-21.
Who's winning?
Oh, San Francisco. I just told you who won.
San Francisco by 10 points.
By 10, yes.
I hope you're right. All right. We are going to end the show right now before
We have so much more to talk about, Josh.
No, there's not.
That's it?
That's actually it. That's actually it, actually. So
1 hour. Wow, this is a record for you.
No, the last show was an
Saved
hour.
by the hiccups, I guess.
I don't know what's going on with me right now. We're going to sign off right now. Until next time, guys, this is Jack Mickle, my father. I'm your host, Joshua Mickle. And so help me with these hiccups. And as always, keep kicking it to the king. To the king. Dear Lord, help me.